shit. This 1,000. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Shit, you coming? Spin the check and get it right back.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Eazyy TV, bringing you guys another Division 2 video. Before I start the video, as you guys seen in the title, I want to make something very clear. All right, the build that I'm about to show, which a lot of people asked to see this build, it's an outdated build that I made like in the beginning of TU4. It's an outdated build, and I want you guys to use this as a blueprint. I don't want you guys to copy and paste this build, but this build breakdown will give you a sense on what I mean by hybrid builds will be the meta. I'm calling it now. Hybrid builds are going to be the meta, and it's going to be your 311-7s. And with the 311-7s, it won't be like, I don't think it's going to be the 311 tanks. It's going to be the 311 skill power builds. That's like even all across. You got a probably 300k armor, over 100k health, decent amount of a good amount of skill power, and still able to deal damage. And then you're going to see more lucky 7 builds. Now, me personally, I think 311-7s or anything with 3 in it is easier to make than a lucky 7. To make sure the lucky 7 is properly built. Lucky 7s really take a lot of critiquing and rolling and guide rolls and making sure that everything is in place so you can be able to do what you need to do. So this build that I'm showing is a build that I did a while ago. It's already on my channel, but people asked about the build. They saw how I was using it, how it shreds and everything. And I'm going to go through a breakdown with that build. But like I said, it's not fully optimized. It's an outdated build, and I'm just going to critique it so you guys can make it better or see something that you might want to change in your build that will help your build get better. All right, so this is the build that I'm talking about, that everybody see me run with the pulse and all that stuff. It's my Eagle Bearer hybrid. This is the one that basically had like I think it was my Eagle Bearer hybrid that had like 50k base or something like that when I was using my skills and all that stuff. And it's more than 50k base now. When I prop all my stuff, it hits very hard. Even though it's a little bit on the squishy side, it still hits hard. So let me go over the build, all right? So me personally, I went with a 388. You're going to see a lot of builds with 3 and something, 311-7, 3 and whatever. You're going to see a lot of that in this meta. I'm calling it. It's going to be the meta. This is going to be the meta. Nice amount of armor, nice amount of health, and skill power is going to be the meta. All right. So the mask itself is a DNH mask. It has skill power and skill haste on it. You could get that skill haste better, but your main focus on this mask is to have spotter. Spotters will give you 20% weapon damage to pulse enemies. And now that I have subscribers telling me the difference between spotter on the rope, from my understanding, spotter is multiplicative, if that's correct, and on the ropes is additive. So that's why in one of my videos I'm like, well, spotter is giving me more damage than on the ropes, even though on the ropes is says it gives you 25% damage. So that will explain why spotter is giving me more, because it's multiplicative and not additive like how on the ropes is. So shout out to the people that clarified that for me. All right. So the chest piece I run, when you run a 311-7 type thing, you can go with Unbreakable. You can go with Bloodsucker. You can go with Unstoppable Force. Me personally, I like Unstoppable Force. I like to have damage. And I don't go the tank way with talents for like metas and stuff like that. I don't want to use Unbreakable because I think it's cheesy. It's like Nomad from Division 1. I don't use Bloodsucker, even though Bloodsucker is not a bad talent. I just don't use it because everybody else uses it. You know, I don't do what everybody else is doing. So to make this build better, you will want more armor. That armor on there is low. That's 15,000 armor. This is an old piece, as you guys can see. I rolled this to 499. So this is an old Gila chest piece right here, and it has 15,000 armor. You can get that armor way up to push you over, you know, 300k already. You can get like a 30,000 you know, armor or total armor or something like that. You got 27,000 health and 14.5% weapon damage. I tried to roll the 15.5% weapon damage on here, but I told you this chest piece is so old, it caps you out on, you know, on rolls that you can put on there. So if you notice with the new pieces like the TU4 and TU5 pieces, when you go to put a high stat on there, it goes on there with no problem. But the older pieces like TU3 and down, they tend to have a cap on them to where you can't roll real high stuff on there, like the maximum amount of stuff. Like I had a holster with like 40,000+ health, but I can only roll 35,000. That's because it was a TU3 and down. All right. So now it has Unstoppable Force, and then it has the three mods right here. You will go with assault rifle because this is an assault rifle build. So you can go with assault rifle mods. Your mods probably is better than mine. You will go with a D&H holster as well. The reason why I have this D&H holster is because it gives me 733 skill power, and it gives me devastating and a utility mod. So I can even get more skill power from that on top of having my weapon damage. All right. And then the backpack as well. If you guys notice, the backpack is missing a red. My highest weapon damage is 8.5%, but I can't use it because if I put another red on here, how it's set up, I will lose compensated. So you can't, it's a lot of stuff you can't do when you're running these 311.7s or something with 3 in it and you're running compensated. You're stricken to what you can, how many reds you can put on there, but still in a sense, the talents enough give you enough damage. Now, if you're not running compensated, you can run devastating and you can go into how many reds that you want to. So like I said, you can do a lucky 7 build and you can run berserk with this. You can run, I'm pretty sure you can run Unstoppable Force. Yep, you can run Unstoppable Force, berserk, and spotter, and on the ropes, and have it, you know, active. And I'm gonna show you guys after this. I'm gonna show you guys another LMG post build that I was working on that has that, so you guys can get an idea. Now I won't show you everything because I'm still working on it, but I'm gonna show you guys. All right. So now, like I said, with the backpack, you got health. You can get more. Me personally, I would go with probably more armor, like probably double the armor, but it has skill power on it as well, on the ropes and destructive. And instead of on the ropes and destructive, you will want on the ropes and harden, so you can get more armor. All right. Or if you wanted more health, you can get like on the ropes and vital. I'm pretty sure vital comes on the backpack. If it doesn't, I know it comes on the chest piece, but I'm pretty sure vital comes. Yeah, let me see. Does it? Do I have a backpack? I'm pretty sure vital comes on the backpack if you wanted to just go into more health. All right. And then there's the mods for that. And then the gloves, of course, 1 red, 1 blue. Now you can get more health on here. The highest that I've seen is 22,000 health on gloves. All right. So you can get, I've seen 22,000 health. You can put more health on the gloves. It's not even fully maxed out with assault rifle damage. And once again, this is an old Gilla, not mask, old Gilla gloves, because it will not let me get 12%. Even though I have 12% rolling on gloves that I don't need, it caps me out at 10. So if you get the new TU4, TU5 pieces, I'm pretty sure it's gonna let you put 12% on there. And also it has compensated. So you get compensated mixed in with everything else. With compensated, you get 15% weapon damage if your critical hit chance is below 20%. And the reason why it's a 3 is because you're running compensated. Compensated gives you that extra 15% when you have 3 or less firearms, or whatever you want to call it, 3 or less reds. If you go over that number of reds, if you go 4, 5, 6, 7, compensated no longer works and you don't have that 15% weapon damage. So you have to be careful how you build in some of these builds. And then, I'm sorry guys, hold on. Anyways, my phone was going off. With the utility protocol mods, you want to go into as much skill power as you need to, so you can be able to unlock certain mods. All right. And then with the knee pads, you have Providence knee pads, which you can get higher than 375, but it only capped me out at 375, even though, like I said, these are older Providence knee pads. These are not TU4, TU5. knee pads, but it does have what I need. I needed Providence knee pads, which give me a additional 10% skill power. Then it has skill power on it, and it has empowered on it for skill power in an offensive mod if I needed it. But once again, I can't use that offensive mod simply because I will lose compensated. So you have to be careful. So now with everything being done, the reason why I run a lot of this stuff is because of what you can do with your heals. So with these heals right here, you're at 77.5 on one mod, which you can get better. I've seen people with 90, 95, stuff like that. I actually lost one of my mods that was like that, so I can't have that. But you have 77.5 and 56.5 on the heals because you have enough skill power to run it. So if you do your 77.5 plus your 56.5, then you're looking at 134% healing just from those chem launchers. Now, if you got a better mod, like I'm gonna go into my mods, if you got better mods, then you will be fine. If you don't want to run a lot of skill power and run about, 1300, 1400, anything like that, if you have it, you can go with chem launcher skill power, which will add an additional 954 to the chem launcher, so you can unlock certain mods just in case you don't want to go into all that. And the bread and butter of this build, and I always tell people this is why I like running this build, I did have my post down to 8 seconds, but it's at 9.3. But if you guys look, I have high skill haste mods on my post. So my post lasts for 10 seconds, and then I have a cooldown of 9.3. Now in TU5, on the ropes and spotter, you don't need a drone, a post drone with spotter and none of this stuff. You yourself as a solo player can run on the ropes and spotter and get both of the damage buffs from them with just using those two skills. So me personally, I would use a chem launcher or use a couple chems, and then I would use my pulse, and at the same time, the pulse goes on cooldown, but it stays in a 10-second duration, and it procs on the rope now in TU5. So you're looking at an additional 45% weapon damage when you get those two to proc. With this build, you're gonna always consistently have that damage because the pulse is 9.3 seconds. You can get it down lower than that. So as long as you can get that pulse to where it comes back to back to back, you will always have spotter and on the rope stacking, which will give you that consistent 45% damage. That's just what it is. The reason why hybrid builds are going to crush in this meta is because of on the ropes and spotter stacking now. That's an immediate 45% weapon damage immediately on any build if you can get those to go. So if you got low reds and you're not putting out that much weapon damage and you're like, damn, what can I do to add more weapon damage on the ropes and spotter? It's going to give you 45% weapon damage right there. So, that's how that goes. All right. So that's what you can see with this build. Now I'm going to just do a quick little rundown of the next build, which will be more of this meta that's not super squishy and stuff like that. It's still a work in progress. I am not done with it yet, but I'm going to just show you guys what I have been working on. So it's real low in health, which I need to get the health up. But with this build, it's kind of, you have to give away something. You're not going to have a high amount of everything. You have to give away something. So in a sense, yes, I can run like a Murakami. She keeps calling me. I'm sorry. I am running a, I could run a Murakami holster that gives me the 8% total health. And then it has like double the health rolled on it. It has total health and health rolled on it, which will easily put me over like 100K health and stuff like that. But then in a sense, I will lose skill power. So me personally, with my pieces that I have to use them in a certain way to be able to run a decent amount of skill power. All right. So I'm gonna just give y'all this breakdown. Like I said, it is not fully done. So it's in the same sense of the other build, but now with this build, you're running 2 red, the 2 blues, which is both double the armor and 15% weapon damage with Berserk. For the people who don't know, LMGs are now with Berserk now, so you can use LMGs, which give you that extra damage. That 140% damage that's coming from this build, and I'm gonna show you guys, is not including Berserk. It's not included on a Berserk, so I could just imagine how hard this is gonna hit with Berserk. So you got your 2 blues and your reds right here, and then you got your DNH holster, which give you a red, and then it has skill haste and skill power, and then your backpack, which I said was the weapon damage one. Now I have that one on here with 8.5. It got skill haste. You could put more armor on this build. You could put more armor on this build because that is a low roll of armor. The only problem that I have with this chest piece is that it does not have on the ropes. That's why this build is not complete for me. I can easily go to like something like this, or you know, something like that, and it would put me at 58k on the health and 321k on the armor, and almost put me at 2000 skill power. But do I want to do it? No, because I in a sense, I want to have my weapon damage. I want to have my weapon damage on my backpack. So yes, this is the chest piece that I would go for, me personally, for my build. It's got to be a blue, a red, and a yellow, and it's got to have that skill haste, weapon damage, and armor, or I can put armor on there, and you will want harden. But the only problem with this is it does not have on the ropes. So I'm still grinding for a Gila backpack that has these stats on the ropes, so I can have my God roll backpack, and then I will release the build once I critique it a little bit better. Then with the gloves, you know, you're running devastating. You're not running compensated because you're not stricken to 311.7 or 388 or whatever it is. You see, it's a lucky 7 build, 777. So now, since this is an old piece, once again, I'm only at 10% LMG damage, but I cannot, I can't roll 12% on there, which I do have a 12%, but it will not let me do it because it is a old, some old gloves. All right. And then, like I said, the same Providence knee pads is implemented, but now I get to run that mod because I'm not stricken by that stuff. And then when you come over here, as you guys can see, it's you guys can see that I only can run 1 heal, but I have to use my chem launcher skill power to get that heal to go. And then on top of that, you have an 11-second post instead of a 9.3. You have an 11-second post here, which only give me 180 skill haste, and I had to use a skill power, post skill power mod for that one. So, you know, with the other build, it had over 2,500 skill power, and I was able to run 2 skill haste mods and have a lower cooldown. I mean, a smaller cooldown. But now, since I don't have that, I have to compensate in some type of way to use my best mods. So then that's when the skill power mods for those skills pop in. So you're looking at 11 and then 10, and it still lets you run on the ropes and spotter. At the same time, my base damage is at 37.4k, so it's not that far off from having a 40k base. So you're looking at a 37k base gun with 777, and then on top of that, you're looking at devastating. Is not even on a holster, what would give me an additional 5%. But on top of that, this is not even with, you know, on the ropes and spotter proc. So if you look at it, a lot of these builds that run high damage like this, or like 40k base damage, they're not running spotter and on the ropes. Most of them are running just high armor, high health, and then high damage, and they have nothing else. They have no skill power. Me, in a sense, I don't have to do that. I got 37.4k base. I have my mods on here. I got Allegro on here. And then on top of that, I can still run on the ropes and spotter. Right now, I just have spotter. So let's think about it like this. When I get the backpack that I need, right? Let's go check the stats. And I'm going to show y'all what I mean by why these type of builds are going to be killer builds. These builds are going to be stupid. All right. And I actually like it. So Massive, if you're watching this video, man, y'all don't nerf this shit. Please don't nerf it, because this give hybrid builds some type of value to fight against tanks, shotguns, and all this other stuff. So let's look at the weapon damage that this build has right now. So we have 56.5 on all weapon damage, and then plus 38% on weapon damage. I mean, on LMG damage. So you're looking at basically 95% weapon damage, which is 94.5, but we're going to say 95% weapon damage. So 95% weapon damage on the LMG build is not bad at all. A lot of people can't even reach 95%. I've actually seen somebody hit 100. I'm not sure if that was Kamikaze or somebody, but somebody actually hit 100. So let's put that 95 that we actually have, right? And then think about it like this, guys. If you have 95% weapon damage, just on the build, period, plus on the ropes and spotter. So spotter gives you 20% and on the ropes give you 25%. Let's do it like that. So with 95 base, weapon damage, plus the 45 that you get in total, you're looking at 140% weapon damage. 140% weapon damage. I haven't even seen a build that can reach 140% weapon damage yet. So this is why I mean that hybrid builds are going to be the meta. They put out more damage than what you can build damage into most of LMGs and assault rifles and other stuff like that, because they compensate you on the ropes and spotter. Since they run together now, they compensate you for 45% weapon damage that you do not have. So you're looking at 140%, and this is a consistent 140% because you have a low cooldown and you have skill haste. So all your stuff is coming back fast. You have a 10-second duration on the pulse, and then your pulse is coming back right away. Depending on what build you're running, you got 8 seconds and 11 seconds. I'm just saying, you know, this is going to be the meta, all right? Hopefully that breaks down how, you know, you guys can make your builds better and, you know, critique your builds and, you know, always take my builds and make blueprints out of them. Don't just always copy and paste. Learn something from them. I do a lot of breakdown. I know this was kind of lengthy, but I had to get this out for people. So I want you guys to start working on these type of builds. And then y'all let me know what y'all running. I know some people are already hip to it. I've been hip to this. I've been making these on the rope spotter builds. It's like TU2 or something like that. When the game first came out, I've been making these type of builds. So this is nothing new for me. But if you're just now seeing this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Tell me what y'all think, how y'all will run y'all hybrid builds. Because I'm telling you, in a sense, everybody is going to be running hybrid builds in TU5. So it's going to be hybrid builds first, skill power builds second, and like tank builds, tank/high damage builds third. I can guarantee you. So guys, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you hit that notification button. Make sure you hit the sub button. I'm sorry about that. Hit the sub button and notification button. Make sure you leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. If you got any questions, man, leave a comment down below. It's your boy Eazyy TV, and I'm out.